पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्ततामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालफुल्ले पुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो नवप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवैत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दुग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्ससुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाङ्कुला अश्वत्थावपि कर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तये मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। Yesterday, we saw that Arjunji is asking a question to Bhagavan Krishna about some clarification. To Bhagavan Krishna, the understanding of Veda is very clear. But you imagine Arjuna towards the end of Dwapar Yuga, he had studied a little bit of Vedas, but the clarity of understanding was not there. So Bhagavan Krishna introduced to him again the purpose behind human birth. And Bhagavan told him that the absolute goal of human life is to realize one's own identity. And Bhagavan labels that absolute goal as moksha, as the path of knowledge, because that can only be reached in understanding. Only knowledge. No other way. Bhagavan cannot be seen, cannot be heard, cannot be smelled, cannot be tasted, cannot be touched. Bhagavan is all pervading. If Bhagavan is all pervading, then what is Bhagavan? Our Vedas declare Bhagavan the highest truth to be Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Anandam, Brahma. There are only 4 words, if I may use, which define absolute truth. Satyam, Bhagavan is. Just because I cannot see, that doesn't mean he's not. And the Vedas define Satyam as the support of the whole world. The support of this microphone is not earth. The support is metal, because it is made up of metal. The support of this board is a foam. Support of these legs, it is wood. The support of the basketball floor over here, wood. The support of this stage, wood. The speaker, metal. So support is the stuff with which it is made up of. The support of a stone, granite, marble, whatever different type of stone. So it is, the isness is referred to as existence, Satyam. Now, this cup doesn't know its existence. But over here, I am also made up of the 5 elements. It is also made up of the 5 elements. Some stoneware. But this stoneware is not capable of knowing. But I am capable of knowing, because in my body there is a very subtle matter. Yesterday I talked about it, which is the inner equipment, a subtle matter of mind and intellect which is capable of knowing itself. And that principle of knowing is known as awareness, consciousness. Awareness, consciousness. So Satyam, Jnanam, it is capable of knowing. But the knowing comes over here, yesterday as I was saying, it is reflected. It reflects, the awareness is reflected in mind and intellect, and I can see. When the first person comes in and they turn the switch on, the lights come, and when the lights come on, we are capable of seeing. So, this equipment is capable of reflecting, but the body is not capable of reflecting. Microphone not capable of reflecting consciousness. So the body has this subtle body which is capable of knowing. So, Jnanam and Anandam. The nature, the mind and the intellect, its nature is the nature of the self. But mind, because it is limited, it feels its limited existence. And the limitation of the mind is the limitation which is born out of a limited feeling, limited emotions. And because of that, the mind is distracted by the emotions and feelings, and such a mind is not happy all the time because it has limitations born out of emotions, feelings, thoughts and ideas. But when we remove all this, like for example in meditation, when the emotions are suspended, feelings are suspended, thoughts and ideas are suspended, and only silence and peace remains, it is capable of enjoying its own presence, which is Ananda. And even when a person acquires, like for a high school student who has worked so hard and gets A in the exam, so that mind becomes very happy. It is not that the A in the exam brought happiness, but the perennial source of happiness, which it is enjoying a bit of happiness, of the bliss of Atma within. When I buy an object, when somebody gives me a gift, the joy is not born out of some gift. The joy is born out of my nature, which is happiness. It is somebody's gesture. Oh wow, somebody gifted me. Ah, thank you. And then I feel happy because my nature is happy. Matter is incapable of bringing happiness, because when this thing goes away, if somebody steals it, I will be sad. So happiness came with the watch, and when somebody stole, happiness went away with the watch. That is fleeting happiness. But we want to be happy all the time. And our nature is happiness. So, Satyam, Jnanam, Anandam and Anandam. God's nature is infinite happiness. And that our Shastra defines that as moksha. That is a goal of life. Now that goal of life, moksha, is not by going to Vaikuntha that I will get moksha. It is not like that. Moksha, my nature of existence, consciousness, happiness, and infinitude, I have to own it. I have to know it. So Bhagavan refers to that goal, moksha, as the path of knowledge. Knowledge has to be known. Just like the knowledge of chemistry is only when I know chemistry. If I don't know chemistry, I'm ignorant of chemistry, that's all. If I know calculus, then I'm knower of mathematics. I know calculus. If I am a doctor, I am knower of the field of medicine. If I am a lawyer, I am knower of the field of law. If I am an engineer, I am knower of the field of engineering. So when I say, I know God, that means I know the nature of God. And the nature of God is my nature. But it is so difficult to understand, so our Shastra creates secondary types of scriptures, and they are known as Puranas, where God is referred to as Shankha Chakra Gada Padma Mahavishnu, who lives in Vaikuntha, and then Lord Rama with bow and arrow, and he lives in Saketapuram. And then Lord Shiva who lives in Kailash Loka. So like this, different gods. An idea of a god with name and form is given in Hinduism to make us understand the concept of God. But when it comes to Bhagavad Geeta, Bhagavan talks about two paths, the path of knowledge, where we have to know what God is, which is moksha. And then Bhagavan says there is a path of karma. And Arjuna thinks that there is an option. That let me just know Bhagavan. But you know, it doesn't happen like that. There may be a father and son. And that little boy looks at father and says, Papa, how does it rain? And that boy is little boy, 7-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old. And the father says, do you know, night time when you are sleeping, Indra Bhagavan's elephant, he puts his big trunk inside the ocean, and then when you are awake, and the rain comes. And that boy's like, my papa knows everything, this is how it rains. The father is a meteorologist who studies the weather pattern. What Airavatam comes to the ocean and sprinkles. A father knows, but what can father say? As a 6-year-old boy, how can he understand the water will be evaporated and it will condense and the dew point has to be right, and when condensation is there, the water itself will formulate clouds, And when the clouds, there is enough barometric pressure, it comes down as rain. The child, how is he going to understand all this? A 6-year-old. But one day that 6-year-old will grow up studying a little bit of science and will be able to one fine day at 17, 18, he will laugh at the story of elephant putting trunk and the water coming out. But until then, that story is going to work. So, to know God is a mature thought. It is not easy. It is like a 6-year-old boy wanting to know, how does rain come? And some story father tells, but that story works for about, it is a time filler until the boy matures, isn't it? The story is a time filler. And that time filler from the age of 6 up to the age of 15, 16, when actually he takes physics class and he understands what is barometric pressure. Slowly, slowly, slowly things clear. Then you'll understand. So that story of elephant throwing water is a time filler. In the same way, if we have arrived on this planet, right now, the path of karma is time filler. The path of karma for you and I, all of us, is a time filler for this mind and intellect to mature, to understand what is God. Thus, Bhagavan, now, yesterday I left off at that third shloka. We will chant the third shloka again. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Lokesmin dvividha nishtha Pura prokta maya naga Gnyana Yagna Sankhyana Karma Yagna Yoginam. So Bhagavan says Lokesmin dvividha nishtha. Please switch your phones off. So, Bhagavan says, Asmin loke, in this world, dvividha nishtha. Bhagavan says that there are two as though paths, but he uses the word dvividha, means two, but then nishtha is one. Because if we know Sanskrit, nishtha, nishthe, nishthaha, Bhagavan has only used ekvachan. Without complicating it too much, I'll explain. Bhagavan says there is only one path, one nishtha. All of us, we only have one path to follow. In this world, asmin loke dvivid eknishtha, that one path, but that one path is in two sections. It's like you may have seen, to go to the second floor, there may be a set of 8 steps this way and then 8 steps going that way. The huge 16 is broken down into 2 to make it easy for elderly people. They do that. In big, big buildings, they break down and it reaches up. So, it is in 2 batches of 8 steps, and the 16th step, we eventually reach the 2nd floor. So, Bhagavan says that there are 2 sections in one path. Gnyana Yogena Sankhyanam, for the ones who tread the path of knowledge, it is the portion of Sankhya. And Karma Yogena Yoginam, and for the ones who follow the path of karma, that is the path of Karma Yoga. So, like I gave the example, to go to the 2nd floor, you have 2 sections of 8 steps. Can you say, I want to go to the 2nd, so I will only take the 2nd half? Somebody will look at you and they will be like, what is wrong with you? You have to get to that first. So you have to take the first 8, only then you can take the remaining 8 and then reach the 2nd floor. So the first set of 8 steps, Bhagavan calls it Karma Yoga. We reach halfway. And then the 2nd set of 8, Bhagavan calls it Gnyana Yoga, to reach moksha. Arjuna thinks that these 2, Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga, they are 2 separate. Bhagavan says they are not separate, they are in line. When we do Karma Yoga, we are prepared to understand spirituality. Then we become prepared to understand knowledge. So Bhagavan is saying, no choice, Arjuna, when it comes to, if you want to reach moksha, which all of us one day we will, if not in this birth, some other, but each one of us, one day we are going to have to do that. And it is only possible in the human birth, that is what is said in the Vedas, because such a mature equipment is required to understand existence, consciousness, bliss. A lion, a dog, a cat, a chimpanzee cannot understand the concept of moksha. And until then, there are different levels that people go through, all depending upon the state of evolution of mind and intellect. So Bhagavan says, Arjuna, there is only one path, but the path is in 2 sections. First is Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga you follow, and then mind and intellect will become very alert, quiet, sharp, and will be able to understand God. Now, what is Karma Yoga? Bhagavan starts. Now, the next 3 shlokas, Bhagavan gives 3 reasons in shlokas 4, 5 and 6. In each shloka, one reason he gives for why we must walk the path of Karma Yoga. All of us, no exception, including the speaker, including me. We may think that Ramana Maharshi ji, oh, yesterday I was saying he's sitting on the mountain, he's not doing anything, just quietly meditating. He would sit silently for 18 hours. We cannot sit still for 18 minutes. So we cannot compare ourselves to Ramana Maharshi Ji. Ramana Maharshi Ji's mind and intellect so quiet, so still, he could sit in one position, this mind, quietly for 18 hours, 19 hours, 20 hours, just quietly absorbed in samadhi. Our mind, in 2 minutes, will open the eyes. What is the time? Oh my God, it's only been 2 minutes. I have so much to do. Did I turn the stove off? Oh, that dog must be barking. Oh, I did not lock the car. Somebody will steal. Let me go and double check if the doors are locked. All sorts of... We are victims to our mental process, that we cannot enjoy peace, silence and stillness. It is not the world's fault, it is our mind's fault. So we have to quieten this mind. And Bhagavan gives method in this chapter, methods to quieten the mind. And once the mind is quieted, that is it. So all of us, Bhagavan addresses. Shloka number 4. Na karmana manarambhat naishkarmyam purushoshnute na cha sanyasanadeva siddhim samadhigacchati. Together. Na karmana manarambhat naishkarmyam purushoshnute na cha sanyasanadeva siddhim samadhigacchati. So Bhagavan uses a very technical term for moksha. He calls that word naishkarmyam. Naishkarmyam, Bhagavan uses the state of moksha as naishkarmyam. What does that mean? Complete cessation of action. No action. Only knowledge, I am. I am Brahman. So, knowledge alone is, so Bhagavan says, Arjuna, this moksha cannot be attained by not starting karma. There are 2 flights of stairs to go upstairs. So if you don't start the first flight of stairs, Arjuna, how will you reach up? So, double negation he uses. Not by not starting, Bhagavan says, Naishkarmyam Purushosana. Basically what he's saying is, you have to start action, that's all. Start action and Nacha sanyasanadeva siddhim samadhigacchati. And the siddhi, what siddhi? Again, that siddhi of self-realization. So, he uses 2 words, Naishkarmyam and Siddhi. Naishkarmyam means moksha and Siddhi also means moksha. That's why we have to study Bhagavad Geeta with a teacher. Otherwise, if we read, it will be very... Bhagavan is not even using the word moksha. What is he talking about? But see, when we study with people, when we study with somebody who has actually studied Shastra the way it is supposed to be studied, then it will make sense. So, Bhagavan says, if you don't start karma, you will not reach moksha. Then, second line, Bhagavan says, if you renounce actions, if you say, okay, I am not going to do enough Bhagavan says, by giving up action, you will not reach moksha. So two statements he made. By renouncing actions, you will not reach moksha. And by not starting, if you don't start, you will not reach moksha. So, Bhagavan says, first reason is, do not neglect karma. Do not neglect karma. Very important. We should all do karma. And we should all do karma to our best potential. At home, the best job. At work, the best job. We may think, oh, I don't like my boss. Why do I have to? We may not like our boss. We may have likes and dislikes. But our thinking should be, this company belongs to Paramatma. I may not like my boss, but the self in the boss whom I don't like and the self over here is the same. I may not understand it today. Oh Lord, give me the strength to understand. Let me do my best. So first reason Bhagavan gives to Arjuna is, you must do karma. Do you know this Mahaperiyava Swamiji, Kanchipuram, in the Kanchi Kamkoti Mutt, he became a sannyasi at a tender age of 12. He had to carry on the weight of the whole matham. And as a sannyasi, you have no responsibility as a sannyasi. A danda is given in one hand and kamandalu in the other hand, so both hands are employed. You are not allowed to have any other thing. But his entire life he is devoted to karma. He set an example for people as to how a life should be. Even today, for us sannyasis, he is an inspiration. Even at the frail age, well into the 90s, he would do his Danda Tarpana. And sannyasis, we have our own Sandhya Vandanam. You do Sandhya Vandanam. Staying true to karma. Now he has realized God. What puja does he need to do? But no, every day Chandramauli puja, Abhishekam. Every day. Purnima Shri Chakra puja he did. Now for a person who has realized they don't have to do anything, bas, they've reached moksha, then what? But karma is very important. You look at Bhagavan Krishna when he incarnates. The incarnation is bound by karma. Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Narahari, Vamana, Rama, Parashuram, Balram, Krishna, Kalki. And this Krishna avatar, Vamana avatar is Brahmin. Then he upheld all Brahmin traditions. Then Bhagavan Ramchandra, Kshatriya, upheld every Kshatriya tradition. Krishna, as Bhagavan Krishna, is a Vaishya avatar. And as Vaishya, he upheld every Vaishya tradition and Brahmin and Kshatriya tradition. He fought in the war and a Brahmin tradition he taught. This is the job of a Brahmana to teach. But Bhagavan Krishna, because he said there will come a point in time when the Brahmin tradition will not be left, so others will have to pitch in to do their job. He's a Vaishya, and then Kalki Avatar is going to be Shudra, and he's also going to be a fantastic, revolutionary teacher. So, as Krishna Avatar, he's doing so much karma. So, first reason he gives, one must not renounce karma. Now, second reason. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtyatya karma krut karyate hyavashak karma sarva prakriti jair gunaihi. Together. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtyatya karma krut karyate hyavashak karma sarva prakriti jair gunai. So Bhagavan, in the second reason he gives is Arjuna, nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtati akarma krut. Not even for one moment we can sit without doing action. Even while you are seated over here, like I said, your mind is thinking, did I lock the car? Is the stove off? Did I lock the door? In the middle of my pravachan, your inside pravachan is going on. And when you go to bed, we yell at Bhagavan for his Maya, but what about our Maya? We create a whole dream. Even when we are sleeping, the mind is at work, projection. And in our deep sleep state, the body is functioning. The dinner which was eaten is processed. Not even for a moment the heart stops beating. If it stops beating, problem. We'll create a lot of work for people around us. They will have to plan for some 13 days. Continuously. And Bhagavan says, Karyate hyavashak karma. We are as though propelled, pushed to do action. Sarva prakriti jai gunaihi. As many people over here, that many different types of prakriti. And everybody's mind is different. Somebody in music, somebody in dance, somebody, workaholics in various fields. And two children, same parents, same household. One has to be told 1,000 times and the other one, no instructions. Why? Prakriti. From childhood you can see the colors that people come with. And then the parent gets so angry and then they compare. You look at your brother, he's doing so well and you're not doing anything. And then the child even says, you are always comparing to the brother. He's always nice. And the two of them fight. Then another fight. Bhagavan says, we are pushed by our prakriti. Whether it be sattva, rajas, tamas, our prakriti pushes us. Karyate hyavashak karma sarva prakriti jai gunai. First reason Bhagavan says, everybody must act. Do not neglect karma. Why I should not neglect karma? Because even if you think you are not doing anything, the idea that you are not doing anything is doing. That is very important to understand. When you say, I'm not going to do anything, mom, when a teenager says, I'm doing nothing, but nothing is being done, isn't it? Nothingness is also karma. Bhagavan is saying that is born out of Prakriti. So, Bhagavan says, don't waste your time on this planet Earth. Do karma. Second, not even for a moment we can live without doing action. Thus, we must do action. Third reason he gives is giving up of karma is a risky business. Because an idle mind is a devil's workshop. Bhagavan uses that. There's a third reason he gives, that keep this mind engaged and busy, otherwise it will turn into an asura. So, number 6. Karmendriyani samyamya. Karmendriyani samyamya. Ya aste manasa smaran. Indriyarthan vimudhatma. Mithyacharasya uchyate. Together. Karnendriyani samyamya. Ya aste manasa smaran. Indriyarthan vimudhatma. Mithyacharasya uchyate. Bhagavan says, Arjuna, giving up of action is a risky business, because if you leave this mind alone, that mind will become a devil's workshop, and the devil's workshop is, it will start projecting, it will start imagining, and that will take you for a ride. So our body has 5 organs of action, and our body has 5 organs of perception. Through the 5 organs of perception, the outside world enters inside. So the outside world comes inside through the 5 organs of perception. What are the 5 organs of perception? The hearing, the seeing, the touch, the smell, and the taste. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. 5 of them. And when the information enters the inner world, the intellect gives its instruction to the mind, and the mind gives the instruction to the body, and we act in this world, with the 5 organs of action. The 5 organs of actions are hands, feet, speech, genital organ, and anus, through which the body is cleansed. So, mainly the hands, the feet, and the speech are the organs through which we communicate with this world, and then the 2, genital organ and the anus, is a very personal way in which we communicate with ourselves. The body cleanses itself and so on and so forth. So Bhagavan says the 5 organs of action, hands, feet, and speech, if you do not employ them properly, mind, when it is not employed properly through action, Bhagavan says, ya asti manasa smaran. The mind will start thinking. If karmendriyani samyamya, if the organs of actions are kept together, the mind will start projecting. Indriyarthan, what will mind think? Mind will think about sense objects. How to enjoy this, how to enjoy this. Indriyarthan vimudhatma, and that mind will acquire a mastery in stupidity. It will think about so many things, but it will do nothing. Indriyarthan vimudhatma. Vimudhatma, the mind will lose itself. Actually, there are people who slip into this world of projection, and it becomes a mental disease, schizophrenia and so many other, where the mind is extremely active. The person is kept in one place, but the mind just projects. It is a disease. Indriyarthan vimudhatma mithyacharasya uchyate. Such a person, Bhagavan over here is mithyachar, is a pretender. Such a person, the big, all these things. So, Bhagavan gives 3 reasons. He started out by saying there is only one path. That one path is in 2 sections. The path of karma, path of knowledge. Path of knowledge delivers moksha. Then he says moksha cannot be attained without karma. If you do not start karma, you cannot reach. So you start karma. Then Bhagavan gives 3 reasons to do karma. Bhagavan says, in that first reason, that you should not neglect karma because your time is precious. You should put to use that karma should not be neglected. Second reason is because this body is made up of prakriti, the gross prakriti and subtle prakriti, and it will be pushed in if you don't direct it. So better you direct it onto a righteous, nobler path. What is a righteous, nobler path? He will tell us in this chapter itself. And then the third reason is giving up of karma is a risky business. Bhagavan says, because mind will be a devil's workshop. Therefore, now 7th shloka, he says, how should one work? He brings this into 7th shloka. Yastvindriyani manasa niyamya rabatirjuna karmendriyai karma yogam asaktasya vishishyate yastvindriyani manasa niyamya rabatirjuna karmendriyai karma yogam asaktasya vishishyate. So now Bhagavan brings this word over here, karma yoga, and he has not yet defined karma yoga. And he says, yaha, on the other hand, the other individual, yaha tu indriyani manasa niyamya arabate Arjuna. Indriyani manasa niyamya. What does a person do? Mentally, he controls the senses of action and guides them properly. Karmendriyahi karma yoga. That mind guides the hands, the feet, and the speech to act properly in this world. What is the proper employment of the senses of action? Karma yogam. Karma yogam. And asakta, without any attachment. Such a person, vishishyate, they will excel, they will start climbing the ladder of spiritual unfoldment very quickly. Very quickly they will start evolving. So what is Karma Yoga? Karma Yoga is wherever we are in our stage of life, and whatever is there in our plate of life, we should reject nothing. First step of Karma Yoga is learn to accept what comes to you in your life. You know, when we are eating food, and in our Indian preparation, we heat up oil and we put masala and all those things. We season our food. In North India, tadka, they call it vaghar or different thing. So you heat up little bit of oil and you put spices so the fragrance can come out. And in there, even curry leaves are put. Green chili is put. Ginger is put. When pongal is made, there is jeera, mustard seeds, black pepper, and curry leaves with ginger and some green chili. Now when we eat, we have a habit of removing that curry leaf and putting it on the side, and then we eat the pongal. Even to remove the curry leaf and put on the side is a rejection of annam. We don't know it, but we do it. Those who have proper understanding, they will consume even that. So, in the plate of food, we remove certain things which we don't like. Now, when we have plate of karma, we have no authority to even remove a little curry leaf of karma. Because I may have removed that and put on the side, but our own Karan Sharira will take it and put it back into our plate of life. If we don't like to deal with it today, don't worry. Tomorrow it will be there. Might as well deal with it today. This Karma Yoga is very, very, very important. I cannot stress how important Karma Yoga is. And that is where we as Indians, who are inheritors of such pristine, beautiful philosophy, we only study about it. But actually I find our American counterparts, they act upon it. You know how much volunteer work Americans do? They take their life seriously. And they take others' lives seriously as well. You go to any church on Sunday, it'll be hustling and bustling with the joy of life. In church, you're not allowed to complain. Do you know that? And we will go to see, Pulyar Swamiji with a plate of bananas and a coconut and only complain or complain. And poor even Bhagavan Ganeshji will turn his eyes closed. What is this? Do we ever go to a temple with a smile? Lord, today I have come with bananas, your favorite food, and coconut, your favorite food. No complaints, I'm just happy. How many of us do that? How many of us bow down to Ganeshji just because I'm happy, Lord, today? We will only go to a temple if we have an interview. I'm changing jobs, problems in Chennai, and I can't do anything about it from here, so Bhagavan, let me just pray to you, take care of parents over there. Our reasons to go to temple are ridiculous. What Bhagavan is saying is, create zest in living life. Put your life to good use. First step of Karma Yoga, do not complain. No matter how grave of a problem. And this Bhagavad Geeta is given because Arjuna has complained. First chapter is the complaint of Arjuna. Arjuna Vishad Yoga. And yesterday I said, if we complain, we should complain to the right person, because Arjuna complained to Bhagavan. Bhagavan could do something about it. Our prayers should be clear. First step, Bhagavan says, work. Keep a smile. Accept all that has arrived. Why should we accept all that has happened in our life, even the painful, sorrowful conditions of our life? I had one young man die of brain cancer. And he was upset. He said, why do I have to have it? I said, why not you? If it has come to you, there must be a reason. You have no bhagya for any more life. You better resolve this before you go, because do not leave this planet with anger. Do not die angrily. He said, I am going to beat cancer. I said, till today, nobody has beaten cancer. We cannot beat cancer. We have to lovingly accept cancer. And do the best. I said, I'm so sorry. For you, it is only 38 years. You're leaving behind an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old. I am so sorry about it, but you accept it. We have a Meenakshi Sundareshwara temple in Chinmaya Mission, Austin. I said, you stand in front of this Mother of the Universe and you thank her for the 38 years that you have. But do not look at her and be angry that I'm going to be deprived to see my sons high school graduation. He said, I want to see my son's high school graduation. I said, that is not up to you, that's up to your bhagya. We cannot even ask for one extra breath. The universe has ordained. And our free will is in acceptance. Because when we accept, our prarabdha changes. But if we fight our prarabdha, oh, we are in for a tough tug of war. And she's very strong. Mother Prakriti. We've come over here to evolve and grow. This is a school. If there is a child who gets an A in 5th grade, he will go to 6th grade. If there is a child who fails, the teacher will say, you know what, it's okay, you failed. Go to the 6th grade. You will learn. Or the teacher will say, do summer school. Or you repeat. Different options are there. You repeat the 5th grade again. But the teacher, the principal will say, okay, chalo. Now some person fails and fails and fails and fails, and the teacher gets fed up of seeing the same. Chalo, niklo yahan se. Just get out of here. And you graduate. But I tell you, in the school of life, the principal is Mahamaya Rajrajeshwari. And that Rajrajeshwari, Lalita Mahatripura Sundari, mother who presides over this creation, she's not going to let us go. She said, okay, if you don't learn, repeat next life. The same cancer will repeat. You don't like this mother-in-law? Don't worry. The same mother-in-law will appear in the next life. Deal with her again. She's very compassionate. She will produce the same person, different outfit, the same nature. We have to learn to live with whoever is in our life. They have arrived over there for us to learn. This we must know. So, full acceptance, no complaining, and doing my best. Do you know just these simple 3 steps is enough to quieten the mind. The 4th one, Bhagavan says, asakta. Our idea is we want to choose our actions so that our actions make us happy. Bhagavan says, give up that choice. Don't work for happiness. Asakta, unattached. If you engage in action for the sheer joy of action, that action will liberate the mind. So Bhagavan says, reduce your desires. Don't live in this world to fulfill your desires. Live in this world to fulfill the universal desire. That is asakta. That word is karmendriya karma yoga asakta. Engage in karma yoga without any attachment. What is the attachment? With our own desires. I want this, this should happen. I should make this much money. I should have this type of home. My child should do this. Problem. We can certainly introduce our children to some ideas and hobbies, but we cannot live through them. Because you did not get a chance to have been exposed to Mridangam, you cannot force that child to learn Mridangam. If the child wants to learn Mridangam, great. But the desires, they have to be kept in checks and balance. It is a risky path we are treading. Every Sunday I talk to Indian parents. I think we make some of the worst parents. Because I work in the school district. The principals come and tell me, and I know it. I'm part of the counseling team of the high schools over there. How much we stuff upon them. The understanding of a need versus want, that has to be very clear. Is this a need of a child? Is it a want of a child? Is it my need for a child or is it my want for a child? Very important. This nurtures our growth. Everybody cannot be doctors. Everybody cannot be an IT profession. That is called Sarva Prakriti Jai Gunai. We are all born out of Prakriti. Some will go in art, some will go in music. This boy who wants to study botany, and the parents are like, what are you going to do? Study trees? You are not going to put food on the table by studying trees. Okay. Let him study. We'll figure out. If he has given tongue in the mouth, he will find a way to put food on it. But we have to be clear about our swadharma. What is my purpose? Let me engage in karma yoga. So, this is very important. Yaha tu indriyani manasa niyamya arabate karmendriyai karma yoga sapta savishishyate. Such a person, he excels. Krishna realizes that an ordinary man would not know how to save himself from this natural world of phenomena and instinct. Thus, he is inspiring an ordinary man to stand up and accept the position and the state of abidance that he or she is in, and accept life, accept the consequences, put your best foot forward, and grow, and grow. The one who lives in harmony excels. The one who fights this world, it's a losing battle, we will never win. So then, what karma should be done? Niyatam kuru karmatvam karmajayo hya karmanaha sharira yatra pichate na prasiddhyet akarmanaha niyatam kuru karmatvam karmajayo hya karmanaha sharira yatra pichate na prasiddhyet akarmanaha niyatam kuru karmatvam. So Bhagavan says, perform your obligatory duties. So nitya karma. Nitya karma, what is the pancha maha karma we should do? Nitya karma, Sandhya Vandanam is considered to be Nitya karma. When we do Sandhya Vandanam, Do we get any direct benefit from it? No. But if we do not do Sandhya Vandanam, so we accumulate a papa karma for having taken human birth and having the privilege of education, and we shut our doors on education, Mother Gayatri, or learning. If we do that, Bhagavan will deprive us of mental functions. I've seen many a family, many a clans where the lopa of this one simple karma, Sandhya Vandanam, and in one generation you can see the effect. Today, if we see, the Brahmin culture, the richness for what it is, we have to thank the forefathers. They created this karma so that the intellect and the mind and the intelligence in it can be incubated so the culture as a whole can be taken to the next degree. This is what our rishis came up with. Is it not true that even in this country, if somebody wants to do research in university, there are grants available in the department where the grant will be able to sustain that person and R&D can be pushed further. Every company has an R&D department. Why? Because we have to grow. As a human race, we also have to grow, and the Sandhya Vandanam was not just for the growth of the individual, but the growth of the society. Like that, each one of our families, we have a family tradition, a family devata, kula devata, and simple worship of that keeps the events on the outside in harmony and the equipment on the inside in harmony. Very important. Only when the outside world is in harmony and the inside world is at some amount of peace, work can be produced. Otherwise, we will be putting out fires everywhere and we will be exhausted only putting out fires. So wherever devatas are worshipped, elderly are regarded, the spouse is taken care of, the children are tended to, the noble people in the society are regarded, that family will grow in karma. Because to grow in karma, blessings are required. Who's going to bless? Do you know in India, at least in my growing up in Gujarat, I have seen my mom used to make first few rotis would be for cow. And the last few rotis would be for a dog. So before we would start eating, she will take 2-3 rotis, put some rice, a little bit of dal, whatever she has made, a little bit, she'll turn it into a little, fold it up, and she would give it to me or my brother. And that cow, I don't know how she knew that it was 11 o'clock, but that cow would be waiting. And the minute that cow takes it, she will go to the next home. She has places that she has to go to. And she indirectly blesses us for prosperity of annam in home. We don't realize that, but this world works in a symbiotic relationship. There are plants who produce little droplets of nectar for ants, and those ants go up and down the tree and do not allow any other beetle or anything to invade it. Because if a beetle goes and makes a hole in the tree could die of infection. The tree and the ant have come up with a mutual relationship where both can thrive. The ant gets its food and the ant ends up protecting the tree. In science, so many things are there. But as human beings, we are roof and crown of creation. We go above and beyond that protection. We work at the level of love, faith, compassion, devotion, and above all, blessings. If we are seated over here today, it is because somebody else's blessings. And if what I'm saying makes sense, some gurus in your lineage are blessing you. Otherwise, Gita will not even make sense. If we understand, it's even a greater blessing. Then what to talk of us practicing what we understand? The first set of food going to a cow. After eating, the remaining going to a dog. And even that street dog knows its time, it will come and eat. And the blessing of that stray dog would be, if anybody tries to come on that street, they would have it. This is the unspoken blessings. So, niyatam kuru karmatvam, nitya karma. You figure out what is nitya karma. Our nitya karma varies from family traditions to family traditions. Then naimittika karma. You may have to alter your daily work routine to help out your next door neighbor, where all of a sudden they have to go to India because their kith and kin has passed away, and they said, can you please look out for my children for 1 week? I have to go. Then what do? You have to alter your work schedule. You not only have to take your child to a soccer game, but you have to take your next door neighbor's daughter to her dance class as well. That is called naimittika karma, where you have to alter yourself, your life, to accommodate somebody else. Kamya karma, desire prompted action, Bhagavan says you give them up. And nishiddha karma, what Vedas say, you should not do drinking and consumption of food and different types of entertainment which disrupts our mental, intellectual process. We have to stay away from it. So, do nitya karma, engage in naimittika karma, abstain from kamya karma, and abstain from nishiddha karma. If these things are done, that is called niyatam kuru karmatvam. Why? Because action is divine. Karma jyayohya karmanaha. Action is superior to inaction. Sharira yatra vichate na prasiddhyet akarmani. Even for the movement of this body, action is required. Some food we are going to have to put in this body. For the sake of stomach, we are going to have to do action. So Bhagavan is saying, why not do proper action? Each one of us are going to have to do action. So he wants us to improve our attitude towards action. Accept everything on the plate. Do not frown at actions. Lovingly accept them. Do not reject anything. Do your best and do Nitya Karma. Then Bhagavan brings the idea of Karma Yoga by explaining through a simile of the Vedic culture. Yajñārthat karmano nyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sanga samachara Yajñārthat karmano nyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sanga samachara. Bhagavan says, if you're doing action, now he brings Yajñārthat for the sake of yajna. Now what is a yajna? In olden days, there were little villages. And let's say in a village, it has not rained for a long time. And in those days, the villages, they depended upon the natural phenomenal forces for all types of well-being. Today, we have water that we get through canals and all those things, but it was not available. So, a great Mahatma happens to be going through that village, and that Mahatma knows a yajna or a ritual to invoke the grace of the rain god, Varuna Devata. And he says, I need a tent to be hosted. I need some ghee. I need some firewood. I need some cow dung. I need some cooked naivedyam. I need these ingredients. I need these various things. He writes a list. Now in those days, people were not well-to-do to have everything. So some people, they have a cow, and the cow has given birth, so they have extra milk. Not only extra milk, but they also have some ghee. So they said, oh, we can bring ghee. Somebody said, oh, we have extra annam, we can bring it. Not very many people in the home, so there is ample of rice. They bring that. Some people milk, some people cow dung, some people have the strength to put up a tent and all those things. So various people in the village, they get together and the whole thing is, the list is ready. Mahatma comes, sits, and this beautiful homam is done to please Indra Bhagwan and Varuna Devata. And at the end, everybody is pleased. So this action was done for the sole benefit of the entire village. And everybody participated by bringing in whatever they can. So Bhagavan says, in the same way, if that attitude of contributing for the sake of well-being of others, if you approach your life of karma, that is best. So yajñārthat karmaha anyatra, if you do yajñārthat karmanaha anyatra ayam lokaha karma bandha. Karma will create bondage if you do it for selfish reasons. What are selfish reasons? I, me, and mine. I will do it for myself. I will do it for my family. I will do it for my clan. This idea of I, me and mine, this egocentric personality, when it acts upon karma, the karma becomes polluted, and that karma, when it is done in this world, it will create a bondage as future karmic vasanas, as future karmic debts. We are all fulfilling our karmic debts with each other. That's all we are doing. Why? Because some unfinished business from past birth. That's all. So Bhagavan says, if you take your life as a privilege and just offer yourself in this world, in the same profession, in the same field of engineering, law, medicine, wherever you are, a clerk, an accountant, wherever you are, and you offer your best for the sake of well-being of all, even at home, at work, even observing the traffic light at 1 a.m. when there is nobody on the road and it is red and you are standing over there. Someone may say, there's nobody on the road, just go. No. Because that traffic light is put by the city to maintain order. And if I disrupt that yagna of order, a city doesn't benefit, but I will incur karmic debt of not doing my duty. You know, little things also add up. Little things, not obeying traffic sign. The speed limit is, in Texas we have 85. And as it is so much in there, chalo, 95 jate hai. You know, we can go up to 95, nobody. It catches up. Okay, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 1 month, 2 months, okay, 1 year, 2 years, 1 day. The Adhipati Devata of traffic will catch us. So, Bhagavan says, participate in yajnas. If we live in a city, it is a giant yajna that is done by the city. If we live in a nation, it is a giant yajna of a nation. If we live in a family, it is a yajna. And you should impress upon children. If Amma is working, coming home, quickly making dinner, or father is doing the dishes and setting up the table, we should all help out. Somebody has to finish laundry, somebody has to do vacuuming, because over here, maid servants are not available 24/7. We are the kings and we are the servants. So when everybody participates, the unit of that household functions. That is called yajnartha, for the sake of the well-being of the family, of the society, of the work. When you are at work, we have to think about the well-being of the company. That's all. When we are at home, well-being of the home. When we are in the society, well-being of the society. The idea of yajna, Bhagavan impresses that if we engage in that, it will liberate us. We will reach moksha quickly. If not, it will bind us. So we will end over here. We will continue some beautiful reasons for this. Who's doing Aarti? Come, you can do Aarti.